Good evening and welcome to BronxTalk. Over the 3 decades of this program, we've engaged in numerous dialogues about young Bronxites and the challenges of growing up in a fast, confusing urban environment that doesn't always take the time to give Bronx youth the productive activities, resources, and the kind of experiences that help to grow them into vital adults, along with enough financial stability so they can reach their potential. To be honest, schooling is only the beginning. Tonight we're going to meet 2 adults who've developed organizations that equip students and young adults with the leadership, mentorship, and life skills they need to thrive. So let's get to it. Please join me in welcoming the CEO of Roads to Success. It is Shiela Duke. Ms. Duke, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you joining us, and someone I know for a very long time, the founder and CEO of the AIMHIGH Empowerment Institute, Sherman Browne. Thank you for joining us.
Gary, good to see you again.
Also, later in the program, we're going to meet one of the youngsters who can demonstrate how these strategies actually can work to not only empower young people, but help them make positive changes to the whole society. Ms. Duke, let's just start with you. Roads to Success. Who is it? What is it? Why is it? Do tell.
Thank you for asking. Roads to Success is a 24-year-old organization birthed in Brooklyn, but we serve Bronx, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. Our mission is to inspire and empower young people to take control of their future. And we really just envision a world where every young person has an equitable path to success.
What do you see out there that needs the kind? I mean, I said a couple of those things at the beginning, but what do you see? Who do you see that needs the kind of attention that Roads to Success could provide?
Well, we serve young people from the ages of 4 all the way to 24, and we realize that our older end of the spectrum often gets the shorter end of the stick, meaning less resources, less connectivity for them. And so we pride ourselves on focusing our attention to our young people from the ages of 14 to 24 to make sure that their path to adulthood is one that is seamless, that has connections, that they're able to thrive and succeed so they can come away from either financial instability or create kind of the path that they envision for themselves and their future.
You know, that it's fascinating because I guess the stereotype based on the way I introduced the program is that we're talking about kids and we're talking about teenagers, but you're talking about all the way into the 20s.
Absolutely.
Now, just in terms of their growth, why is that demographic doesn't get what they should?
So most of our programs focus around first-generation college-going students, and statistics show that 1 in 4 will drop out of college if they are not significantly tied to an adult authority that helps them actually through their process.
Which they may or may not in the modern world get from their families. And I know Sherman has worked with young men in particular, so we'll talk about that in a moment. But
absolutely. And so we want to be that significant connection. We want to be that continual thread and pathway for a young person to know that it's okay to even say that you need help. And we want to be that constant until they are able to say that they are on their right path. And
they want, and the bottom line for me is they want to do it, they just haven't seen the resources and everything else. Sherman, you and I know each other a long time. I was around toward the beginning of AIMHIGH. So let's just go back. What was the philosophy, and let's talk about what it was and where you're at right now.
Yeah, so when we originally started AIMHIGH, we were focusing on young men. There were many statistics that were coming out talking about young men of color in particular, and talking about the need for them to be able to have access to resources. When they looked at all of the different metrics, young men were coming in at the bottom. So when we started AIMHIGH, we said that we were going to build a program that could connect before we correct. Find a way to connect with them deeply so we could give them guidance and serve like as a GPS to get them to their destination, whether it be academically, personally, professionally, or socially. So when we started off with just 50 young men, and we got a couple men from within the college community where we were working at the time, And what we did is we connected them with mentors, and we found out what were their interests, and then we provided them with the resources to go towards those goals.
It's, you know, just you talked about mentors. It's like a Big Brother program.
Absolutely.
But you took it really to another level.
Yes, because the Big Brother program of it was giving them somebody to stay connected with, but we also wanted to give them the guidance to the pathways that they wanted to go to.
How did you know it worked?
Yeah, so one of the ways that we knew it worked is that the first year that we did it, we had 50 young men in the program. We had 48 of them that actually stayed in the program,
Wow.
Talked about the value they
Probably
received.
your program more than they even went to class.
Oh, yeah,
And
absolutely.
I don't want to make a judgment.
Hey, that was one of the problems as well, because they would come there looking forward to being in school because they knew the program was coming on specific
Right,
days.
right.
So that retention rate was great. But then when we looked at the outcomes in terms of their levels of community service, some of the opportunities that they were getting entrepreneurially, and even in terms of the job market, we recognized that them having that guidance, many of them expressed that that guidance is what led to them actually being able to move from where they were to where they wanted to be.
You know, here's Gary's editorial comment. These are the people saving the world. So you either partner with them and go with them, or we're really in bigger trouble than we thought we were. Sherman, just the difference between what you did and now you were telling me about expansion that I wasn't even aware of. That's remarkable. But again, we're going to save our planet. We're going to save our city. This is how we're going to do it.
Yes, absolutely. So when we started off with just young men at the time. We've expanded to working with young ladies as well. And we've expanded to various levels. When we started at the college level, but we started to kind of reverse mentor. So we took college students to high school students to middle school students to elementary schools. And now we have a full pipeline. So from the moment that they get involved with AIMHIGH, we could stick with them from the beginning until they go to college or career or military.
You started one campus. I got my note here, 23 school campuses and community sites, impacted over 12,000 participants. You know, years ago, I interviewed the head of the PSAL, the New York City athletics program, and he said, I have 26,000 students who have to go to school because they can't play unless they go to school. If you double my budget, I'll have 52,000 students. Wow. You guys speak that language, don't you?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I want to talk about this Invest Fest, which was really, I think, the motivation for it. So then, Ms. Duke, explain to me what Invest Fest is and why we're so happy we're going to meet a youngster who you're really going to be happy about. Go ahead.
So Invest Fest is a entrepreneurial conference, and I really have to punt it to my counterpart, Sherman, who I think did a lot of the legwork in the first year of our collaboration, and even just allowing us to know what Earn Your Leisure was and the things that they do. And this conference, I think this was their 24th year, their 25th year doing InvestFest, and it was over 20,000 participants at the actual conference. But they focus really on entrepreneurial mindset and the ability to equip entrepreneurs, folks that are looking to gain financial empowerment and ways that they can kind of save and do that.
And if they come from many of our neighborhoods in the Bronx, it never occurs to them, and I'm going to make a judgment, it never occurs to them that they can do that they can have financial literacy, that they can invest money. I mean, it's like, what? And this is how you open up their eyes.
Yeah, so this was my first year attending, while it's our second year
I'll get to
in
him.
partnership.
Hang in there.
This is our first year attending, but the second year that we brought young people. And so it was mind-blowing even for me to attend, to hear some of the folks that have started businesses, right, that have really breaking barriers in terms of investments and portfolios and what it means to diversify and to save for retirement and what it means to collaborate.
And they've never heard this stuff before. Nobody's ever talked to them like real people, like this is what you can do to do better.
Well, in schools, you know that class called economics? That class no longer exists. So they're not learning how to balance and do all the things that you need, that the life skills that will help you kind of change the trajectory of your family's dynamics.
Sherman, they eat it up with a spoon. They're so happy that somebody says you can be rich, you can be stable, you can live in a place, right? I mean, this is what they
absolutely. Most of the time in the Bronx especially, we're just thinking of surviving. right? Getting by. So when we start talking
With good
these-
reason, by
yeah,
the
no,
way.
absolutely. And when you look at their conditions and the backgrounds and the things that they're going through, sometimes it's just, I need to get through the day. But now we're able to insert into the minds of young people that you could do more than just survive. You could thrive. You could thrive financially. And there's some things that you may not know at this point in time that if you get access to that information and you take action on that information could really change the trajectory of your life. You are going to be the game changer of your family, and you might be the one to end generational poverty.
You just added the second part of the sentence when you said change your life, but also your family's life. And certainly people would say, well, wait a minute, I want to help mom. She did all that for me. I want to do that. Address the contest part of this, because the student we're going to meet in a moment did pretty well. And so explain what that is about.
Yes, so this year Earn Your Leisure did something unique in which they had a youth.
Who is that?
Earn Your Leisure. That's the organization that runs in Fest.
I just wanted
They
to
were
shout
the
out.
founders. Yes,
Okay.
yes. So the brothers Troy and Rashad, along with their team, decided that this year they were going to do a youth competition in which young people could come with ideas of their businesses and actually pitch it and win real money. So you guess who you're going to see today actually won that competition, being able to go down there from the Bronx, was able to go down there, take the ideas that he had in his mind, put it together in a presentation, and when they saw his idea, they said, you know what, we want to fund that idea. So gave him a small stipend just to get him started, but look, it's a spark that ignites the fire.
You know, I shouldn't say this. I know Sherman a long time. That is really the concept that started you on your way, this whole notion that you could make a presentation about a financial plan, right? Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. That was years ago with students in free
We were
enterprise.
both a lot younger.
Yes.
no.
That's right.
But that was the start. I was in college learning these skills, and then I wanted to find a way to apply it. And that student organization gave me the chance to say, you know what, go ahead and try this. Go ahead and do it with real businesses in the community and see how it works. So it's full circle when I get to see now the young people in our programs get to go to these competitions. Back then we won trophies. Now they're winning money. Right?
That's
So
right.
it's a good look.
So there's the advancement. So for you, this is fascinating because he's been in this realm for a long time. You've done a lot of work, but not this. What's your impression? What did you see? Were you inspired? Do you think this is a way to keep moving forward?
Yes, absolutely. So part of what Road to Success do, and we serve over 7,000 young people annually, right? And so we want them to be well-rounded individuals. And part of that is financial freedom, right? So it's how to go to school, but how do you go to school without having major debt? How do you make certain decisions that may be counterproductive to where you really want to be in life, right? And so it makes sense to connect with AIM High and Councilmember Riley, because when we're talking about in economic empowerment, that's just a facet of a young person's mindset. Like you said, they're worrying about getting through the day, where their next meal is coming from. And so financial freedom is a key tool that we can impart in young people.
We only got a moment because we do want to bring the young man on. You see their faces change.
Absolutely.
They're both
Absolutely,
going, yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Yes.
Well, this is beautiful. Well, so we're going to take a very short break, and we're going to bring in a young man named Michael Collado, and he's going to be here, and he's going to blow all our minds. We'll do that right after this. More Bronx Talk right after this.
There's a new channel to explore, and it's bringing the classics back to life. During the day, relive the BronxNet originals that sparked conversations and built community. At night, dive into the hip-hop throwbacks that defined a generation. One destination, two powerful lineups. Now playing on Optimum Channel 952, FiOS 2138, and streaming at BronxNet.tv. BX Legacy, where history meets the moment.
Okay, welcome back to Bronx Talk. Please welcome, and I've been talking about him, but he is here. It's Michael Collado, a Roads to Success young man. Thank you for joining us, and along with Ms. Duke. Just talk to me about your background And then how did you get to the point that at Invest Fest, you not only applied and then you ended up winning?
Correct. So I'm from the Dominican Republic. I was born in the Dominican Republic. I came here when I was 6. And I live in New York. So being from New York, I saw the food scarcity. I see it's kind of like a food desert. So that's where my whole
food desert?
Yes. So it's kind of like where my whole entire business idea came from and stemmed from. I was taking a dual enrollment class. I was a sophomore in high school at the University of Delaware. And we had some sort of like same type of, I guess, concept of creating an app or an idea that would benefit your community. So when this opportunity came for InvestFest, I said, let me not watch us expand on the idea and then do an idea that would benefit my community, especially like I see what's going on in my community, so why not just build upon that?
The one thing I did not mention, maybe I should have done it at the top, you're at Fordham University.
Correct. I'm a freshman, just turned 18.
And he's got the smile of a freshman, too. You picked right up on that. I'm a freshman. And you're real happy about that.
Of course.
And you're studying what?
Finance. My
You're
major's
studying
in finance.
finance. That would make sense. Before we get to the specifics of his project and all that kind of stuff, this fits right into the profile of what Roads to Success and Aim High is all about.
Absolutely.
And why is it, or what excites you about what he does, who he is, et cetera?
So this is the generation of now, right? It's no longer the next generation. He is our future. Our future is in his hands. And so it excites me to see a young person have ideas and concepts.
And care. The first thing he said was that he wants to do it for his community, and he identified a problem. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And so this is what brings the programs like Aim High and Roads to Success life, right? The work in action and seeing that he's able to put some of the concepts from the workshops that we've provided in terms of some of the lessons learned and now apply it to his actual life to change where he's going and where his future is
and
headed.
apply it to our lives. Now, talk about, again, I'm going to mispronounce.
FindGo?
FindGo,
Yeah.
FINDGO.
Yes.
You created an app?
It's a business idea, yes, that I want to one day
so
continue
far,
on
it's a
grow
bit.
for, yeah.
And then what did you do to make a presentation at InvestFest? How did that work?
Yeah, so basically the whole process was we had to create an essay in order to be selected as a finalist. So I had to do an essay, had to do a 2-minute Google slide presentation. After that, you got
Presentation in front of other people.
Yes, in a panel.
So therefore you
judges.
had to speak well. You had to present well.
Had a 2-minute,
wear a tie like you're wearing
correct,
today.
Correct. There was a 2-minute, section where you had to explain your app or idea and basically prove to the judges, the 3 panel judges, and I guess in some sort of way the crowd that you deserve to receive that funding.
And so what is the app about, and what are we going to eventually get and change the world with?
Because it will happen.
Go ahead.
So FindGo basically an app that connects farmers to the daily American. So basically, my goal is to incentivize and motivate farmers to keep growing crops and selling them. Because as a youngster, I guess you see a lot of advertisements for McDonald's and Burger King, a lot of fast food restaurants. But I have yet to see an advertisement that provides a location for fresh markets for farmers. So my goal is an app where people can go exactly to these locations where they can find these farmers and, create a system where you would scan the ticket that you get from the farmers and then it'll create that into coupons and points. So you can then redeem and then be able to get, I guess, like a discount for your next purchase. And then also another section where is a recipe. So basically you would type in the app all the items that you got from the farmers markets and it will auto-generate you
and
recipes.
they could tell you what you could make.
What you can make with those vegetables and flowers.
You should submit that. You could win a contest. To me, there's a global thought here. Now, all you got to do is open your newspaper and see what farmers are talking about now, because they don't know what to do. I mean, that's a whole other show. So the notion is connecting local markets with the farmers who may not necessarily be in New York City, but they could be, in Westchester, in Rockland, and of course upstate, and they would love to sell their products, and you're making it easier for people, and of course, you get a little discount or
Exactly.
something.
Yes.
From a technical point of view, you have the technical background to create an app. Do you have to learn that? Did you learn that? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So since I am in Fordham University in the Belly School of Business, I hope to gain those, I guess, skills in order to create the app in itself. But as of right now, it's more of an idea. All I need is a team, and then just get it going.
Well, now that's a perfect segue back to Ms. Duke. Talk to me about creating a team, or, how does this, not only for him and for the rest of us, be something, but it probably could be something that Roads to Success can work on and help develop and help him, all of us, be successful.
So we've actually talked about developing small business hubs, right? And I think there's one that's maybe birthing in the Bronx, where we can then
no, not maybe. That's birthing.
that's
in the
birthing
Bronx.
in the Bronx, and to take young people who have ideas, because we want to see more small businesses in the Bronx, and how not be that way for them to start their business right here at home.
So wait a minute. We're going to make the marriage now. So when you say you need a team, what do you need a team of? Like, what do you? Who
So
else needs to be
obviously,
part of this?
We need to have people that can help with the diagnosis of the app, creating the app, the coding, and then. I mean, I have the idea. I just need the people. That's
And,
what it is.
and 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. But obviously, the more we scale, the more we're gonna need. To start up, probably only like 3 other people.
All right.
besides
Well,
me.
now we know that Sherman Browne is here from AIMHIGH, and you're here. There probably are young people who would say, "Wow, this is a cool idea. This is going to help my community, all of our communities. I want to be part of it."
Absolutely, and we want to make sure that Michael's vision and passion for his business continues to elevate, right? And so making sure he has a tight business plan, making sure that we start connecting him to other resources. Just running the competition alone in Atlanta, Michael, I mean,
that's
they
right.
were
We
pulling.
didn't mention InvestFest was in Atlanta,
Atlanta,
Georgia. They all
Georgia.
went that
Yeah.
in itself is an education
Yeah.
for young urban people.
And so
Bronx people.
before we left, I saw Michael in action, connecting with investors, connecting with people who can buy into the business to help him start some of the foundation things that he needs to have. He's anchoring himself with his business degree at Fordham. So this is just, we have to mark our calendars, because it's only a matter of time that this is not only going to blow up, but Michael will continue to reach all different levels.
Maybe one day we could put him on TV. Maybe. When you look at, do you see the vision of the larger picture yet, or are you still in the, kind of the
No,
little?
of course. I see the larger picture. I mean, this is only in New York. There's not only farmers in New York. There's farmers
Oh, look out,
everywhere
New Jersey
nationwide.
and Connecticut.
Yes, so it's only a matter of time where these other states get into this idea.
And this is a message to my friends at Fordham. What do you need to get from Fordham? It seems to me, just from hearing, and I'm an amateur in this way, that really good kind of business development plan stuff, which lets you know that I don't really know a lot about it, is what you would really need to get out of college, because you have this germ of an idea.
Yeah.
Right.
So out of Fordham, I mean, you really get to learn the foundation. You only not get to learn how to build it, but also market validation. Who's your target audience? Who are you, I guess, selling the product to? And then who's also going to be the ones to, in this case, download the app?
Have you always been somebody who likes to invent or likes to lead? In
Yeah.
other words, this predates this InvestFest, right? You've been
Yeah,
doing
I've
this
always been intrigued into finance, being able to, create business models.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
I mean, just by the mentioning of, I was in a dual enrollment class for entrepreneurship as a sophomore in high school
And
at
what
the
high
University
school?
of Delaware. I was in John F. Kennedy.
Oh, right. You were in John F. Kennedy,
Yeah.
but not the main school.
Yeah, I
it was
was
one of the
in-
schools in that
correct.
building.
I was in a public charter school. It's called United Charters AMS for Advanced Math and Sciences. So they put me into a dual enrollment class at University of Delaware as a sophomore in high school.
Wow.
Yes, I was able to learn
So wait, at the University of Delaware, you did it remotely?
online. It was online.
It was
Yeah.
online.
So I was taking all the online classes that a student would take at the University of Delaware.
Wow, this is incredibly exciting, and I guess for you, this really opens up a world and opportunities for your people as well, for the people you work with, among the 7,000 people you work with.
Absolutely. We have to stay on the pulse of what our young people need, and we need to be able to support them in a variety of ways. So this is just opening now a door for us to say, how can we, inside Roads to Success, help our young people who are trying to create these business plans. And so who knows, in the next couple of years, Roads to Success could have a whole kind of workforce development department that helps young people then continue on this path.
You know, one of the resources that I see here that is so plentiful is the human element. I mean, you know, and again, I think of Sherman Browne and AIMHIGH. He's got a whole staple of young people, and you do as well. And I'm guessing when they hang around with him, they say, oh yeah, I want to be like, this resonates.
And that's the power of partnership and collaboration. There's so many like-minded organizations that share the same mission. And the one thing about AIMHIGH and Roads to Success, while this is a new evolving partnership, we have parallel goals, right? And so why not join? Because we are better together than apart. And so I feel like AIMHIGH's young people are my young people. Roads to Success young people are AIMHIGH's young people. And I think having them bond over a 4-day trip to Atlanta, the bus ride, it's not just about,
right. You know, I wasn't even thinking of that.
It's not just about what they get at the conference. It's the experience of it all, too.
And finding people
like-minded other individuals. Michael met individuals from the Bronx he would have never crossed paths with, right? And now they're probably still having conversations. They're connected. That's a whole new realm of community that we've just created.
Michael, we'll give you the last word. Have you learned something from this? You got just about 45 seconds.
Yeah, I have. Well, you never know who you're next to. You never know who's in the same room
now you
as
know
you.
who you're next to.
Yeah. You never know who's thinking about investing into your company or just investing into your future as a whole. You know, we're all very young. All of the kids in RTS, we're all around the same age. I just hope to be, I guess, an example to them that you don't have to be 50 or 30 to get to where you got to be.
You really have emerged into this is the place you want to be.
Exactly.
Michael Collado, congratulations.
Thank
By
you
the way,
so
how
much.
much money? There was money involved.
Yeah, so at first it was
Be quick.
1,000, but now it got to 2.5K. So it was raised up.
All right, and it'll be larger. Shiela Duke from
Thank you so
Roads
much.
to Success. Thank you, Sherman Browne from AIMHIGH. As I said, we'll save the world this way. These are the people who are going to do it. And that'll conclude the program for tonight. We want to thank our great producer, Rebecca Hemmick, our BronxNet production and editing crew, and of course to you too. It's always, and you guys know, it's about the people of the Bronx. That's what it's about. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.